red numerals and trim. John Skokin jumping against Haug Charnowski. Haug 3 inches smaller, but he controls the tap. Got it in the backcourt, and Danny Ward, flying out of bounds, saved the ball to Beaudette. So the Huskies have it. Front court. McDonald shoots immediately and misses the 3 from the right corner, but the long rebound comes to Kramer. Out to Beaudette. Shoots from 18. That rims out. No good. Rebound. It's a jump ball underneath. It's still loose. Goes to the floor. Kramer goes after it. Face first, diving on the floor. Gets it out to Beaudette. Now to Ward. Danny Ward has it on top, dribbling along the arc. Now he'll back off on his dribble and set the half-court offense for the Huskies. To McDonald, right corner. Joel contemplated the 3, passes it up. He's guarded by Walker out in that right corner situation. Ward on top, rifles a pass to Charnowski at the line, takes a dribble. The running jumper from 10 is no good. Rebound to Ray Howard. And he gets it off for Walker, and now UNO comes in the front court. We're scoreless 45 seconds into our first half. Front court for the Mavs on the left wing. Here's off guard Ryan Elrod. Bounce pass out on top to Walker, the point guard. He holds 2 fingers aloft on his left hand, setting the play. Passes to the right side. Skokin halfway up the lane. Now to Howard, 2 steps beyond the free throw line. Back on the right wing to point guard Ron Walker. Walker gets it off out on top now. Young has it. His pass to the wing is knocked away and recovered by Kramer. Turnover UNO. Ahead to Ward on the break. Ward tried to thread a pass through the lane to Charnowski, but it went off the legs of one of the Mavericks out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Huskies.
Right now it's a defensive battle. Both teams they're playing really good defense. Neither one can make a shot right now.
Dean, I thought the way the Huskies started out in that first possession, that was a good sign. They were hustling.
Yep. Stewart did a great job getting some loose balls.
Charnowski has it on the pass in, gets it off in the high post to Beaudette beyond the lane. Now out to McDonald, a 3-pointer from the left wing, rims out, no good. So the Huskies start cold from the field. Rebound UNO, and Walker brings it ahead now for the Mavs in the front court. Skokin on top. Left wing pass comes to Antoine Young, the freshman 3-man. Now out on top to Ryan Elrod, one of a handful of junior college transfers on this UNO team. Originally from Lincoln. Gets it off to Walker. He's at the line. Puts it up from there and hit it. Ron Walker from 16 feet out gives UNO the 2-0 lead. Now a long pass ahead. Ward's pass thrown away. Intercepted by UNO's Elrod. He brings it in the front court. Threads a pass in the lane. Skokin out to Walker from 18. Count it.
Walker continues his hot streak. He's playing well. As UNO goes, Walker goes.
4-0 Mavericks, just over 2 minutes into this ball game. Husky basketball on 98.1 FM, WWJO St. Cloud. Huskies bring it back the other way and turn it over. Ward down the lane, tried to dish for Charnowski. Howe got it and then tried a return pass, and it was intercepted in the paint. Now Walker breaking back the other way. He goes to the basket and has his shot knocked out of bounds by Charnowski. So Howe gets back well on the defense after his turnover.
Right now, UNO is playing really, really well right now. They're doing a lot of good things on offense and being patient. They're playing good defense.
Mavericks in the front court, 17:30 on the first half clock. They pass in from baseline right, get it out on top to Young. He swings it around at the left side perimeter to Walker. Ron Walker will dribble it back out on top. A slow walk. Walker currently 19th in the NCC in scoring. Also in the top 10 in assists and steals. He passes off on his left. Out near the timeline to Elrod, to Walker, back to Elrod as they play catch way out on top. Elrod dumps it down in the corner to Young, back out to Elrod. The Huskies and the Mavericks both starting in the man-for-man. Walker has it out on top, guarded by Ward. Battle of small point guards. Walker puts it up and hit it. As Ward was all over him, Walker pulled the trigger from 17 and nailed it. 6-0. Walker has all the scoring so far. Huskies back the other way. McDonald goes to the baseline drive and drew the foul.
It's kind of interesting to see. They got Antoine Young guarding the point guard. And Antoine Young is a big boy. I mean, he's about 6'4", but he's built. They got Walker guarding the off guard. So they got Elrod guarding the 3 spot. A little change.
Yep.
You know, Hansen always likes to do that. He always likes to, do the little things different.
Chess game with him, huh? Foul was on Walker as he reached in against McDonald on Joel's move down the right baseline, and that means McDonald will go to the line now for the Huskies, trying to get their first points of the night. It's 6-0 UNO with 16:50 left first half. McDonald's free throw good. So that breaks the drought. Joel coming into this ball game 23rd in the NCC in scoring, and he is 7th in the league in free throw percentage, and the second free throw also good.
I like UNO's last possession on offense. They're really, really patient. And I think for them to beat the Huskies tonight, they got to be patient. They did a great job. They made a tough shot. They did a good job.
Mavericks lead at 6-2 as Walker brings it ahead. Passes in the right corner. Elrod works up a Skokin pick as he dribbles up the arc. Passes in the lane. Here's Walker. His hanging midair jumper is good. What a play by Walker as he stayed midair and double pump to avoid the block from McDonald. 8-2, and Walker has all of the Mavericks points. On the left baseline, Charnowski's fadeaway 10-footer is good.
Nice play by Danny. Needed to get Howard going. Howard's kind of the glue to the team. They need to get Howard going early.
Huskies' first field goal. It's 8-4 Nebraska-Omaha. Just over 16 minutes left first half as the Mavs now start their half-court offense with Antoine Young on the left wing. Out on top, here's Elrod. Goes to the dribble drive down the lane and drew the foul from Ward. From behind, Ward reaching around and getting the Huskies' first foul of this game, a non-shooting infraction.
Huskies, what are happening? They get the 1, 2, and 3 men. They're all switching. That could cause some matchup problems. I know last time down, Stewart was guarding Walker, and I don't think they definitely don't want that.
Pass in was knocked away by the Huskies, but last touched by the Mavericks as Walker tried to lob it in for the 6'10 John Skokin. He got his hands on it. Then it went off of Kramer, and then off another Maverick player. Turnover, UNO. St. Cloud State front court with Charnowski to Kramer on the left wing, guarded closely by Elrod. He kicks it back out on top to Ward between the circles. Point guard Dan Ward rifles a one-hander on the low right wing. Kramer standing on the edge of the arc, brings it back out to the top of the key. Bodette off to Ward. He goes off a double pick. Ward dribbling to his right, rifles it through the lane. Bodette couldn't handle it, out of bounds, and the Huskies continue to struggle on offense.
That was a good possession, though. Danny did a nice pass, little screen and roll with Bodette. Bo just lost a hand on the ball.
Huskies coming in third in the NCC. Check that, fourth right now. Fourth in the conference in scoring, 73 points per game. UNO is eighth, averaging about 69. Walker has it. Left wing takes a handoff from Skokin out on top. Elrod now on the right wing. Young, his bounce pass comes to Skokin. Top of the key. Low left wing. Walker has it. Lobs down low. Ray Howard. He's bumped. Goes out of bounds. Called for traveling. Howard tried to receive that lob pass. He was tied up by Bodette. Howard slid to the floor, and they called the turnover on UNO.
Nice defense by Bodette.
Huskies get it back with 15:05 left first half. They're down by 4. Here's Ward pushing it into the lane on his dribble. Bounce pass right side. Charnowski dumps it in the lane. Bodette's left-hand jump hook is good.
Nice play by Bodette. That was his only shot, is through the left-hand hook. Great play.
I don't think I've ever seen him take that shot before. That was an impressive move. 4 straight by the Huskies. They're back to within 2. It's 8-6 UNO. Pass in the lane. Knocked away by Bodette. Interception by the big guy. Gets it ahead to Ward to Charnowski, and he jams it.
Good play. Howard runs the floor well, and you always reward a big man for running the floor. Nice play by Danny.
6 straight by the Huskies, and we are tied at 8. Just about 5.5 minutes in as the Huskies now on a run. Here's UNO with Walker down the lane. Dishes to Young. He's open from 19, and Antoine Young buries it.
Good penetration by Walker.
10-8 Mavericks back the other way. Huskies score with McDonald, a three-pointer from the right wing, and St. Cloud State has its first lead at 11-10.
Joel needed that one. He's been struggling late shooting, but he's a great shooter. It's nice to see the 2 guards getting going early.
McDonald had 6 3-pointers in a game against Morningside earlier this year. That's an NCC single game high this year. That tray makes it 11-10 St. Cloud State. Mavericks in the right quarter now with Walker. He's guarded by Ward. Works off a double pick. Walker open from 15. Swish. Ward got picked off, and Walker was all by himself, and he scored 10 of the Mavericks' 12 points. They lead it by 1.
He's playing really well. That time what happened, Howard didn't come out and contest him at all. He didn't make him change direction.
There's a lob pass down low. Ward on top to Charnowski. His reverse layup is good as he shot it over Howard. And the seesaw continues. It's 13-12. St. Cloud State, the Huskies' second lead. Now Walker on top, backing in against Ward. Passes off to Young, the small forward, left wing. Antoine Young guarded by McDonald. Bounce pass down on the baseline. Howard has to dive for the ball. He comes up with it. Good save by Howard. Back to Young, and then he is fouled. Antoine Young fouled by McDonald, who reached in.
Good play by both teams. Get after it on the floor. You got to do the loose balls. Got to get the loose balls to win ball games now.
First substitutions of the ball game are for St. Cloud State. As Bodette and Charnowski come out, the Huskies' top 2 big men in that starting lineup. And Greg Kesty and Travis Brown check in. Kesty, the 6'7 senior out of Eden Prairie, and Brown, the junior college transfer of whom we spoke in the pregame show. He's the 6'6 former Northland Community College product, originally from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Pass in now for the Mavericks. At the free throw line is Ray Howard. He's guarded by Kesty. Howard rifles it cross court. Elrod, 3 if it counts. Yes.
Elrod, basically known for his defense. He's a good defensive player, being 6'5", but he can also hit the jumper too.
15-13 UNO. The Mavericks have led by as many as 6. Down the lane goes Ward. Dishes back out on the left side to Kramer. Back to Ward, left corner. Now to Kesty, halfway down the left edge of the paint. His high banking jump shot off the rim, no good. And then on the rebound, a foul on the Huskies, as they say that either Kramer or Brown pushed off.
I like the way Stewart's coming out early. He's made a few steals on the first couple minutes. He got on the floor. He's playing well. That time just got a bad break.
It was Kramer called for the foul, but again, Dean, one of those situations where it was an aggressive foul going after the offensive board.
As a coach, you can live with that. I like what he's doing, though. Here they are. They're struggling in the conference, and I like that, how a senior's stepping up, trying to take charge, and that's what it's got to do.
Change at the point guard for the Huskies. Dan Ward out, Dino DeVita in, the 6'1 sophomore from Milwaukee. Mavericks make a change themselves as Mike Conley, the veteran forward, the junior out of Mounds View, checks in. The only Minnesotan on the UNO roster. Walker has it, atop the arc, dribbles to the line, shoots from there, it rims out. Walker finally missed. Rebound Skokin, his putback, in and out and back in again. Right baseline putback by the freshman makes it 17-13 UNO.
Nice play by Skokin. Bob Hansen kind of compares him to Phil Cartwright at this time. He looked like Phil Cartwright that time.
Mavericks with 5 straight, lead it by 4. Kramer has it, right wing, front court for the Huskies. Lobs it way out on top to DeVita. He's guarded by Young, and DeVita threw it right away. Young intercepted on the perimeter. Antoine brings it back, knocked away by DeVita. Young gets it back, left baseline, and dumped it off the leg of Brown, but then apparently it hit Young as it went out of bounds. As referee Tom Perot says it's Husky basketball.
Boy, that was an ugly possession. People were jumping around all over the place. That was very ugly.
Couple of changes for the Mavs, both backcourt substitutions. Tony Stubblefield, a 6'2 senior out of Broomfield, Colorado, and John Haugh, that's H-A-U-G-H, a redshirt freshman, one of 6 Omaha players on this Maverick roster, a 6'3 guard. He's also in. Here's DeVita down the lane. His follow-away jumper, left side, banked it in.
Good play by Dino. He has a keen little way. He's got a nice little spin dribble to get himself open, and now he's picked up his offense a little bit where he can hit that shot.
17-15 UNO. Mavericks in the front court with Skokin atop the key. Passes off Stubblefield, left wing. Backing off on his dribble, Tony Stubblefield in the left corner. Elrod, his bounce pass knocked away by Brown, intercepted by DeVita. DeVita on the break. It's 3-on-3, feeds to the right. Brown goes to the basket and drew the foul. Travis was about to hammer it down, but Stubblefield went up with him and got the foul.
I like what Danny and Dino are doing. Anytime a big man runs the floor, you got to reward him and give him a pass for an attempt at a shot. That's how you reward him. Nice play.
So Travis Brown will go to the free throw line now for the Huskies. We talked about those improved numbers for Travis. In the Huskies' last game that lost to South Dakota State last Saturday, Travis had for him an NCC high 9 points against South Dakota State as he hits the free throw here. His season high is 10. He had 9.6 rebounds in that ball game, and then going in reverse order in the previous games, 4 points, 4 boards, 6 points, 2 boards, 6 points, 5 rebounds. So he's played well of late. Second free throw, no good by Brown. He makes 1 of 2. Mavericks still leading by 1. They're back the other way into the front court. Stubblefield way out on the left side. The Huskies have brought Chad Gurman and Scott Springer into the ball game now. On the right wing, Haugh gives it up for Conley. He shoots from 18. It rims around and stays in. Oh, I thought for sure that was going to crawl out, but somehow it stayed in the cylinder and went down. 19-16, Nebraska-Omaha. Springer, right wing, lost it, but off the leg of Elrod, out of bounds. Scott Springer, the 6'5", fifth-year senior out of Winthrop, Minnesota, and Chad Gurman, the 6'2 junior from Sandstone, as we mentioned, they have both checked in. And now for UNO, Jeremy Kildare, the 6'5 freshman from Schuyler, Nebraska. He'll come in, replacing Elrod. Pass in, baseline right. Gurman has it, shoots immediately and misses the 18-footer, but the long rebound run down by Kesty. His putback is good. That was an 18-foot putback for Kesty, but it was good all the way.
Well, Greg's got the potential to hit that shot. He's got a nice outside jumper.
19-18 UNO, 10:20 left, first half. On the right wing side is Kildare. He had a rough outing, the first meeting of these two this year, and his first collegiate start. Kildare, bounce pass to the top of the key to Haugh, back to Kildare, guarded by Springer. Now the center, Skokin has it, takes a dribble, shoots the runner from 10, that won't go. Rebound Brown, good strong rebound by Travis. Gets it ahead to DeVita. He comes across the midcourt stripe for the Huskies. DeVita feeds in the lane. Kesty spins to the basket, banks it up and in.
Good play by Greg Kesty. Got those nice inside moves, and it's hard for anybody to guard him. They don't know what he's going to do.
Kesty spinning wildly down the lane, backed into Skokin. UNO thought there should have been a foul, but no call, and the Huskies are up by 1. Just past the midway mark of the first half. It's 20-19, St. Cloud State. Good pace to this ball game for a battle of the 8th and 10th place teams in the league. Baseline jumper right side by Conley is good.
What a luxury to come off the bench with a 6'7" senior who's a very good offensive player. Mike's a very, very good player. Does a lot of good things.
Mavericks regain the lead 21-20, and the Huskies turn it over as DeVita in the front court threw a pass that was just kind of in the vicinity of Springer, but not even close. Dean, I mentioned that this game's got a nice pace, a nice feel. I would imagine both these teams are relatively loose and that they're just letting it happen.
Well, that's the way it should be. You know, Omaha knows they're not going to go anywhere. St. Cloud knows they're either going to play South Dakota or North Dakota. And they just got to get some momentum, get into the tournament.
21-20 UNO as they come in the front court with Ron Walker, who's checked back in at the point. Feeds down low to Howard, back to Walker. Open, 17-footer is short off the front bracket, no good. And the rebound is taken down by Charnowski. Takes 2 dribbles to free himself of pressure, then lobs it ahead for DeVita. Dino's in the front court. Dribbles to the line and fouled as John Haw tried for the steal, and Haw was called for his first foul tonight. Team fouls, 3 aside at this point with 8:50 showing first half. So again, a low foul situation in this ball game. After some early struggles by both clubs initially, especially by the Huskies, teams have loosened up. It's a good ball game now, folks. Pass in for the baseline, comes to Gurman. He puts up the 3, left wing, no good. Rebound comes to UNO. Kildare ahead on the break. Feeds Haw, he missed the layup, but he was fouled by Charnowski, and John Hall will shoot 2.
Nice play by the Mavericks. They usually don't like to fast break that much, but that time they took advantage. Got a nice 2-on-1 situation. Howe got the foul.
John Haw out of Omaha, as we mentioned, he's one of 6 players from Omaha on this UNO roster. They have 2 others on the roster among their 12 players from Nebraska as well. First free throw good by Haw. John attended West Side High School in Omaha. He had 41 points in a particular game while he was at West Side. That broke the school's single-game scoring record, which had previously been set by Dean Thompson. And all Thompson did was go on to become Nebraska Omaha's all-time leading scorer. So Haw's in good company. Second free throw also good. The Huskies quickly back the other way. Gurman pushes up a 3 that rims out. So the Mavericks get it back off the rebound with a 3-point lead, 23-20. They're in the front court. Lob pass down low. Haw intended for Howard, intercepted by Springer. Ahead on the break now, the Huskies. DeVita to Charnowski, and he banks it in.
Good play by Dino, recognizing the big man again, running the floor. And Haug does a very good job at that.
Huskies back to within 1. It's 23-22, Nebraska-Omaha. Walker into the front court with 8 minutes on the clock. Ron Walker, who has 10 points. He had 10 of the Mavs' first 12 in this ballgame to get them off to a good start. Jeremy Kildare on top. Bounce pass to Haw on the low right wing, guarded by Gurman. Out on top, Conley puts up the 3. That rims out, no good. Front rim, back rim, and came out. And the long rebound gathered in by DeVita. The Huskies on the break. Dino tried a one-hand feed in the lane to Charnowski, but it was an errant pass picked off by the Mavericks. They're back the other way on the break, and laying it up and in is the freshman Jeremy Kildare to make it 25-22.
They're picking their times when they run the fast break. Great job. Anytime they got numbers, they're going with it.
And that was a 3-on-1 that they looked awfully good at in converting. So the Mavericks lead it again by 3. Charnowski goes to the running hook in the lane, put it down, and drew the foul. Haugster with the big running, sweeping hook shot, and he drew the foul.
Just fantastic to see how much improved Haug has gotten the last couple of years. I mean, before almost every point he ever had, he got off loose balls or rebounds. Yep. And now they're looking for him. He's a focal point in the offense. He's got good post moves now. He's doing a great job.
Foul was on Ray Howard, his first. Fouls 4 on each team now. Charnowski with 10 points so far on 5 field goals. Earlier this year, Haug had a 13 field goal effort against Mankato State, the game in which he scored a career-high 30. And those 13 baskets, a single game high this year for the NCC for any one particular player, 13 field goals. Free throw good, 3-point play makes it a 25-all game, our second tie. Mavericks break the full court pressure. Left corner jumper by Kildare won't go off the back iron. Rebound Howard, clears it out for Walker. His shot from the left side is good, while Walker at 5'9", shooting against the 6'7" Greg Kestian somehow put it down.
Thing to do with Walker is not guard him. He misses the open shots and makes the hard ones.
Yeah. And now a foul as the Huskies bring it quickly back the other way. Scott Springer on his move to the basket was fouled by Kildare. Jeremy's first, 5 now on the Mavericks. And it'll be a pass in for St. Cloud State to the right of their bucket. On the baseline, Dan Ward will get it in. Bounce pass to Charnowski at the right block. Back to Ward. He's open. Shoots from 18 and hit it. Danny Ward with his first 2. And we're deadlocked at 27. Mavericks now walking it into the front court in the person of John Haw, the redshirt freshman, the off guard, guarded by McDonald. Haw still dribbling ahead on the right wing. Now brings it out on top to Kildare. 2 steps beyond the top of the key. Kildare is guarded right now by Ward. That's a mismatch. Kildare puts it on the floor. Try to bounce pass in the lane intended for Howard, but it goes off of Ray out of bounds. Hit him on the right ankle. Under pressure from Kesty, and that's a turnover against UNO.
Ray Howard is probably one of the better power forwards in the league, but right now UNO, they're not giving him a good pass to get the ball. Every time he gets his, you got to hit him where he's open, and right now they're not doing that.
And when he does get passes, he's double and triple teamed. Yeah, it's been tough for him so far. St. Cloud State with a chance to take its first lead in a while. The Huskies into the front court. Springer on the left side perimeter. Reverses it, brings it back out to the point guard Ward, out near the midcourt circle. Ward feeds again on that left wing to Springer, guarded by Kildare. Springer goes to his left to the baseline. The hanging mid-air jumper won't go. Rebound, Charnowski. His putback is good. Nice move by Springer. Good finish by Haug. 29-27, St. Cloud State. Under 6 minutes left, first half. Mavericks now back the other way. They haven't trailed much this half. They're down now, and a bad pass as Kildare tried to thread it down on the right block to Howard, intercepted by Bodette. Ward back the other way. The pull-up 14-footer is good.
What the Huskies got to do is get the transition game going. Down here on Omaha's end, you had Howard wide open, but the perimeter player throwing the ball did not hit the open hand. It's going to be a turnover every time. Post players are too good in this league.
The Huskies with 4 straight points have taken their biggest lead of the night. St. Cloud State 31, Nebraska-Omaha 27. Timeout called by the Mavericks with 5:34 left first half. And we'll be back after this. 5 minutes at halftime. You're going to hear the opinions of the St. Cloud State coaches, Butch Raymond and his staff, when it comes to the NCC's best players this year. We polled the coaches on their all-conference picks for 1992-93, and we'll get the results for you at halftime. Huskies up 31-27 off the UNO timeout. The Mavericks throw it away as Skokin, the big 6'10 freshman, tried to force it in the lane, and Bodette came up with at least his 3rd steal already. Bo playing well in the defensive end. Now a pass to the baseline. Springer tried to muscle his way into the paint, but he stepped out of bounds, so the Huskies returned the favor. They turned it over.
Right there was just poor spacing. Haug and Springer were right there at the same time. They got to have good spacing, about 15 feet apart.
Past the 5-minute mark left first half. St. Cloud State up by 4 as the Mavericks are into the front court. Nebraska-Omaha with just 2 wins this NCC campaign. Kildare, the freshman, guarded closely by Springer. Springer knocks it away. What a hustle by the senior. Came up with the steal. Ahead to Bodette, now to Ward in the front court. Danny rifles underneath. Charnowski's pass out on the perimeter went off the hands of an unsuspecting Springer and out of bounds. Dean, that's kind of been the story of the Huskies season. Great hustle by Springer. I mean, that was a super steal. They start the break, turnover, good thing, bad thing.
That's the way the season's gone, exactly how you put it.
And it's not lack of effort. You don't come up with the kind of steal that Springer made on the near side of the court here without super effort, as he just out-hustled Kildare to get that ball away from him. It's like a determined pickpocket on that play. Now Nebraska-Omaha still trying to cut into this 4-point lead. There in the front court. Antoine Young's jumper. Left baseline is an air ball. And the rebound taken down in traffic by Charnowski. Ahead to Ward. Danny down the lane. Dishes Springer with a monster jam.
That's what it takes. Good transition game. Springer with the dunk. And that's where Springer's at his best, is in the transition game.
Huskies with 6 in a row make it 33-27. Under 4 minutes remaining. First half is Ron Walker trying to get UNO back on track offensively. He's got it on the right side. Running the 2-man game with Howard. Instead elects to kick it cross court on the perimeter to Young. Now further down that left wing to Haw. Here's Young. His turnaround jumper. Check it. It was Howard. Is good. Ray Howard. Baseline jumper makes it 33-29. Springer on transition. His reverse layup no good. Rebound Charnowski. His putback no good, but Haug got it back and scored on the second effort, and Charnowski is red hot.
I really like the pace of the game, the way the Huskies are doing. They're really pushing it. They're making things happen on the offensive end.
Charnowski's 7th basket already, plus a free throw. He's got 15. Now Howard tries a fadeaway jumper, right side no good. Rebound Charnowski, rifles a pass ahead. Ward runs it down in the front court on the baseline, and Danny will dribble it back out on top. Now he feeds it off for McDonald, right wing. Joel dribbles to the lane, puts it up and in. A lean-in jumper by McDonald. He's got 7. And now Ward with a backcourt steal. The Huskies on a roll. Ward feeds it out. Springer pulls up. 10-foot jumper is an air ball. You talk about a momentum killer there. Springer wide open, but couldn't get the 10-footer to even draw iron. And the Mavericks come back the other way as they've got it on the right baseline. Skokin has his shot rejected by McDonald, who was called for the foul. Oh, I can't believe that one.
Well, that looked like all ball.
St. Cloud State right now is on a stretch in which the Huskies have scored 10 of the last 12 points in this ball game, and they have, at least for the moment, taken control with some outstanding play on both ends of the court. Not only the offense, but the defensive plays, the big steals by Springer and Ward to get them going.
Butch just did an interesting thing. 5 out, 5 in. 5 new guys in.
Free throw by Skokin is a brick off the backboard and rim. Dean, let me ask you about that. Changing that many players when your team is on a roll. You think he's doing it simply because these guys are out of breath?
I don't know. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Might take you out of continuity.
You got to wonder. That team was rolling there for 2 minutes. They looked great.
I wonder if they were just tired.
Could be, and maybe that's why, because they were going into a full-court game. Huskies with 5 fresh bodies, including Stuart Kramer, who has it left corner. Bounce pass to LaTroy Spann, seeing his first action, and Spann double dribbles. Spann got the pass on the left box, took a dribble, stopped, and then tried again. So the 6'7" senior turns it over. Spann, Kramer, along with Kesty, Gurman, and DeVita in the game right now for St. Cloud State. Mike Conley and Ryan Elrod are back in for UNO. Also, Tony Stubblefield is checked in, and he's got it in the front court for the Mavericks. Stubblefield left wing. Dribbles out on top. UNO trailing by 8. This is the Huskies' biggest lead with 2:05 left first half. Elrod on the right side. He's guarded by Kramer. Elrod puts it to the floor. His running jumper might have been partially blocked. Didn't draw iron, but was recovered down low by Skokin. He kicks it back out. Stubblefield, 15 left to shoot here for the Mavericks. Elrod on top, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Stubblefield way out near the timeline. Dribbling against DeVita. Stubblefield down the lane. His 6-foot runner is off the backboard and rim. Rebound Kramer. Shovels it ahead. DeVita. Now to Gurman. Pulls up. 21-footer. Rims out. No good. And the rebound is tapped and recovered by Young for the Mavericks. Ahead now. Here's Stubblefield. Conley. Fadeaway. Right baseline jumper is too strong. No good. Rebound DeVita. It's a 3-on-2 break. DeVita, Gurman, pull up, 19-footer. No, off the front iron. Whistle and a foul on the rebound as Kesty came over the back of Connolly. And I'll tell you, Chad Gurman's got to be one frustrated young pup right now. He has not yet made a shot tonight. Dean, he's had a ton of opportunities.
They haven't forced it. They're open shots. You know, Chad might be the type you might need somebody in his face to get going.
Foul on Kesty is first, 6th on the Huskies. A minute 15 left first half as the Mavericks come back the other way. Front court down by 8. It's 37-29. St. Cloud State. Skokin out on top. The center playing the high post at the moment. Passes out to Stubblefield. Right wing to the point. Here's Young. High post Conley. Hands it back off to Young. He dribbles down the arc left side. Now brings it back out near the timeline. Elrod bobbled it. Gets it back. Working against Kramer. Elrod's off balance. 14-footer is way off the mark. Rebound Kesty with a nice save. Gets it ahead to DeVita. Dino had it knocked away, but he recovers it. 40 seconds on the clock as the Huskies bring it ahead. The shot clock and game clock are identical. Right now, 35 seconds. Let's see if the Huskies choose to run it down. Gurman comes out to get it with 30 seconds left. Chad spins away from Stubblefield, leaves it out on top for Kramer. 25 seconds to go. DeVita comes out to get it now. Huskies will go for the final shot. Now Gurman with 20 seconds left. He comes out between the circles. Dribbles to his right near the hash mark. Guarded closely by Stubblefield. Gets it back out on top for DeVita. He'll set the offense now for a play with 10 seconds left to go. Bounce pass high post. Spann gets it off to Gurman. He's leaning in at the free throw line. Lost his dribble. Gets it back. 3 seconds. Spann left side jumper is short. Rebound Kramer takes the dribble and could not get the shot off from the baseline before time ran out. But a strong late run in the first half, giving the Huskies their biggest lead of the night at intermission. Our score, St. Cloud State 37, Nebraska Omaha 29, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
It's nothing serious. It only wakes me up a couple of times a week. Oh, it really doesn't.
St. Cloud State 37-25, Mavericks with the first possession. They work it into Ray Howard. He muscles up a 10-foot shot from the paint. It's no good. Rebound Charnowski ahead to McDonald. Three-pointer right side won't go. But the rebound taken down by Kramer. They'll bring it back out on top. So the Huskies, after missing their first shot of the half, get another try. McDonald goes down the lane, shovels it behind him. A wildly inaccurate pass, but the Huskies got a break as it came out to Ward. Gets it off now to Bodette to McDonald at the free throw line. Kicks it back out on top to Ward. The sophomore point guard, Dan Ward, dribbles down to the baseline, then through the lane, brings it back out. Bodette shoots the set shot from 12, and it's no good. And the rebound taken down by Howard for Nebraska Omaha. The Mavericks push it ahead. They're down by 8. No scoring yet, second half. UNO front court. Howard on top, lobbed it down low, intended for Skokin, but an errant pass and a turnover against UNO as it bounces out of bounds on the baseline.
Both teams are kind of coming out very sluggish. Neither one are passing the ball very well right away.
Here come the Huskies now. Still trying for the first points this half. Danny Ward, a couple of steps into the front court. St. Cloud State's side of the timeline, gets it off for Charnowski at the high post, cross court to Bodette, now to McDonald. Puts it up from 17, that's no good. Off the backboard and rim, and then a whistle and a foul on Stuart Kramer as he tried to crash the glass for the Huskies.
If both teams keep struggling like this on the offense, whoever's going to play the best defense and control the boards is going to come out this game a winner.
Scoring from Duluth, WCHA hockey, end of the first period. Minnesota Duluth 4, St. Cloud State 2. Nebraska Omaha with the ball, down by 8. We're a minute and a half into this half, and no scoring as yet on either club's part. Antoine Young has it, right side perimeter, passes off for Ron Walker, the UNO point guard. Walker led this club with 12 of their 29 points in the first half. Walker's bounce pass comes to the right wing. Young has it, guarded by Kramer. Back out on top, Skokin, now to Young. He bobbles it, gets it back on the low left wing. Walker goes around McDonald, tries the running jump shot. It's in and out, no good, but he drew the foul. Somehow, Ron Walker at 5'9" got that shot off in the tall timber territory of the lane, and it almost went down.
You know who Walker reminds me of? He reminds me a little bit of OT. You know, he's he's about 5'9", 5'10". OT says he's 6 foot. But anyway, you know, he's a very good ball handler. He looks to score offensively. And just like with OT, he always thinks he could go down with the with the big guys down there, and he seems to get his shots off.
That foul was on Bodette. Second this half on the Huskies, first on Big Bo, and both free throws good by Walker. Second one hung on the front iron and crawled over. So it's 37-31. First points of the half go to UNO, almost 2 minutes in. Here come the Huskies into the front court now with Ward. 5 steps beyond the top of the key, gets it off for McDonald, back to Ward. 3 if it counts, air ball, top of the key, and it bounced on the baseline, out of bounds. Some NCC scores now. 1:20 left, first half. Mankato State leading Northern Colorado, 34-21. At the half, South Dakota leading North Dakota State, 32-25. And also at the half, it's Morningside 31, North Dakota 20. 37-31 our score. St. Cloud State leading. 17:35 left second half as the Mavericks come in the front court. Ray Howard has it, top of the key to Ryan Elrod on the left side perimeter. Out on top, Antoine Young, now to Ron Howard, right wing, lobs it down low. Here's Howard on the right block, double team, dribbles down the baseline to free himself, brings it back out. Walker puts up the runner from 13 and hit it.
Well, he's good at those shots. Anytime someone's flying at him, he seems like he can get that extra lift off the ground to get himself the shot off.
Walker and the Mavericks have the first 4 points this half. Husky lead is down to 4. Bodette's baseline or check it lane jumper is good. About 3/4 of the way up the paint. Bodette hits the jumper and it's 39-33. It's taken the Huskies considerable time in both halves to get their first points. In each case, almost to the 16:50 mark. Now here's a steal by Ward at the midcourt stripe. Ward takes it away from Young, then Ward lost it. Young tries to save it. Here's a battle between Howard and Charnowski. Goes out of bounds off of Howard as Ward knocked it off of Howard. That was a wild 4-man game. A little 2-on-2 scrum going down here, and the Huskies finally got it.
I don't even know how you could describe it to the viewers.
Yeah. Pass in. McDonald's open for a 3 and missed it. No good. Rebound, though, is saved by Kramer on the baseline. He throws it wildly back in. Comes to Ward. Back to Kramer. From 19, his shot rims out. Walker is battling for the rebound along with Howard. Huskies get control and a foul is called. Howard on the baseline tried to save it for UNO, but it went into the hands of Kramer, and then Skokin fouled Stuart Kramer. That's the first on Skokin tonight, first on the Mavericks this half.
We haven't heard much from Skokin tonight. He's been pretty well shut down by the big guys.
Pass in Huskies. Bodette is underneath, puts it up with the left hand, and it's rejected by Skokin. He heard you, Dean. Big block by the big guy. Now the Mavericks back the other way, going to the right baseline. Walker, his driving layup is short, but he was fouled.
Ron Walker, he might be probably one of the quickest point guards in the entire league. And Joel had to give him a step.
That foul is on McDonald. That's the third on McDonald. And all of a sudden, the Husky fans here on hand tonight at Hallenbeck Hall get excited as 12th man John Evans checks in. Evans, the 6'3 junior from La Crosse, Wisconsin, has seen his playing time improve dramatically in the second half of the NCC campaign. Making an appearance in his 13th game so far this year tonight. He's in there now for McDonald as Walker hits the free throw.
Well, the first league game he played in, he won the game for us against South Dakota State. And right now, Joel and Chad are struggling. Maybe he can give us a lift.
Second free throw, no good. Rebound, Bodette. Here comes Ward now in the front court for the Huskies. They're up by 5. Bodette has it. Way out on the arc to Evans on the right side wing. Evans will put up the 3, and it rims out, no good. He is not shy about pulling the trigger. Let's put it that way. Johnny Evans is an aggressive shooter. Now Walker goes to the basket, banks it up and off, but the putback from midair is good by Howard. Howard with a basket each half. The Mavericks coming out strong here in the second half. It's 39-36, St. Cloud State. 15:45 on the clock. Chris Bodette has it on the high post, hands it off for Ward out near midcourt. Ward dribbles to his right around 2 men, goes to the baseline, shovels it in the left corner. Evans out to Kramer. High post Bodette beyond the free throw line. Now to Ward. He's double teamed left baseline. Slithers down the line and then hands off for Bodette, who banks it in.
Nice play by Danny. It all started with penetration. Then Bodette find a nice seam, and Danny got him the ball. Good play.
41-36 Huskies with 15:15 left to go. Antoine Young has it front court. Bounces a pass to Ray Howard. He tries a jumper from 12 feet up the lane. That's no good. Rebound Kramer. Off to Ward across the timeline. Ward on the break. Spins a pass in the lane. Bodette jump hook in and out. No good. Good looking play. Just wouldn't go down for Big Bo. And Bodette points to the bench and tells Butch Raymond that he needs a blow. So Kesty gets set to come in now for the Huskies. St. Cloud State up by 5. UNO with the basketball. Howard has it left side. Passes back out to Skokin at the top of the key. Low left wing, Young. He lobs it wildly down low. Intercepted by Bodette. He is fouled by Howard. Once again, the Mavericks trying to get it underneath to Ray Howard, but Dean, their entry passing has not been real good tonight.
Not good at all. And Howard is a type player. Once he has the ball, he's a very good offensive player. The worst thing that he does is he stands a lot. He's not a type where he moves around a lot. So once they got to give him a good pass so he can be effective. They're not doing that.
Second foul on the Mavericks this half. Number 2 on them as a team. Number 2 on Howard as an individual. Kesty is in now for Bodette for the Huskies. And Mike Conley checks in for UNO out of forward. Evans has it front court. Huskies cross-court pass right wing to Ward. Dan Ward with it above his head. Guarded by Walker. His bounce pass to the right baseline. Kesty spins to the hoop. His shot is rejected completely by Skokin. Second block by the 6'10 freshman this half. And the Mavericks regain possession. They're down by 5 in the front court with Walker. Skokin on top. He dumps a pass in the left corner to Elrod, the 6'4 senior. Elrod's bounce pass back out on top. Conley to the right wing. Here's Walker. Brings it back out on top. Elrod takes 3 dribbles, shoots the running 15-footer. No good. Rebound Conley. His putback is good from the lane. Mike Conley, he's got 6.
Good play. Omaha, what they're doing well right now is they're hitting the boards. They're getting every offensive rebound.
41-38 Mavericks. Chernowski hits the basket. A jump hook from the right box. He was fouled by Howard. It'll count.
That's what the Huskies have to do. They got to just pound it into Howard. Right now he's the most effective offensive threat that they have, and he's doing well.
Changes. Ward comes out, and Dino DeVita in at the 1 guard spot for the Huskies. For UNO, Howard will leave, having picked up his 3rd foul. And he's replaced by Hans Gertz, G-E-E-R-T-S. Hans Gertz, originally from Belgium and comes to UNO by way of Springfield, Missouri, where he was going to high school as an exchange student. Gertz, a veteran forward, a 6'7 sophomore. Free throw is good by Chernowski. 3-point play makes it 44-38, St. Cloud State. Mavericks have been to within 3 this half after trailing by 8 at halftime. Elrod has it in the front court for UNO. Conley now on top, the redshirt junior. Bounce pass in the lane. Skokin, his one-hand jump hook from 8, no good. Rebound taken by Evans. Outlet right comes to DeVita, and he'll push it in the front court for St. Cloud State. DeVita up the right side by 2 men. Brings it back out on top to Kesty. He'll hand it off for DeVita, who's guarded by Walker now. DeVita dribbles along the arc to his right. Kesty has it. Now a pass in. Chernowski scores on the jump hook and drew the foul. So for the 2nd consecutive time down court, Chernowski has a chance at the 3-point play following the foul this time on Skokin.
That's what they got to do. Just keep pounding it inside to Haug. UNO, physically, they can match up with the Huskies. Quickly, for quickness, no. Haug and Kesty and Bo, they're much quicker than Howard is.
46-38, so the Huskies equal their biggest lead, and it could be extended more if Charnowski can nail the free throw here.
Big for Haug to make this. If he makes it, they can set up in the press.
Charnowski right now with 20 points. Well, his scoring has gone up leaps and bounds here in the second half of the NCC season, and he rattles in the free throw to make it 47-38. Dean, they don't use the press. They drop off. Well, that's unusual. They almost always do it on made free throws. Huskies drop into the half-court man-for-man. Scott Springer has checked in now at the small forward for the Huskies. UNO in the front court. John Haw has come back into the game, the freshman guard, and he has it on top for Bob Hansen's team. Haw dribbling to his right near the sidelines. Brings it out on top. Walker. He rifles a pass to the left wing. With it there now is Conley. Back out Haw on the right wing. Fakes the three. Goes to the floor and banks it in on the running jumper from the right side.
That was a nice play. Back to not using the press. It could be either one of two things Butch is doing. Either he's not liking the way the press is working, or he's got a lot of respect for Ron Walker. One of the two.
47-40. St. Cloud State. Charnowski. Off balance runner from the lane is good.
Haug did a good job. What he did is he did a great pump fake. Got the guy in the air, took a couple dribbles, and scored it. Good play.
Third basket already this half for Charnowski, along with a couple of free throws. So Haug has pushed his totals now up to 23, and it's 49-40 SCSU. Walker on top for the Mavericks, cuts to his left, slices through the lane, and lays it in with a finger roll.
That's quickness. You can't teach that.
7 this half, 19 on the night for the senior point guard Ron Walker to make it 49-42 in favor of St. Cloud State with 11:50 left to go. Johnny Evans has it left wing for SCSU. Down low on the block, Charnowski backs in, turnaround 10-footer is short. And the rebound gathered in by Haw. He starts a 2-on-2 break for UNO. Haw, along with Walker, feeds it out on the wing to Walker, goes to the baseline. Walker shoots and nails it.
Well, if he wasn't playing well early, he's sure playing well right now. He's making everything.
Walker with 21 now, and the Huskies are going to call a timeout. It's a 5-point game, 11:25 on the clock. SCSU 49, UNO 44, and we'll return after this. Our producer tonight is Emmett Keenan. Glad you could join us for Husky basketball. One of 2 games remaining on the home slate for the Huskies tomorrow night. Northern Colorado in town for the regular season home finale. Our coverage begins at 7:30. 49-44 St. Cloud State as the Huskies off their timeout into the front court. Travis Brown has come in at a forward now. Springer has it. He's his fellow forward on the left side. Passes in the lane. Kesty leans in. Shot was rejected down low by Gertz. Kesty gets it back. Lost it again. And the loose ball recovered by Conley. Fires it up to midcourt. Walker presses the issue. Brings it back out. Shot taken from the perimeter by Haw. That's off the back rim. And the rebound is run down by Brown for the Huskies. Ahead now to DeVita. Springer has it left corner. Passes in the lane. Kesty spins to his right. Turnaround 6-footer. Count it.
Good play by Kesty. Again, that's the quickness. Physically, they can match up with, not quickness-wise, though.
51-44. St. Cloud State on top, almost to the midway mark of our second half of play. 10:35 on the clock. Mike Conley backing off on his dribble. Passes down low on the right wing side. Here's Walker. Dribbles between the legs against DeVita. Can't get by Dino, so he shoots it back out. Top of the key. Conley's shot is good. A 3-pointer for the Mounds View native.
Conley's playing a nice ball game tonight. He's doing a lot of good things. Rebounding, getting on the floor, hitting the jumper.
UNO is back to within 3 as Evans sets up for the 3. Left side. That's off the front iron. No good. Kesty came up with the rebound and was called for traveling. Boy, it looked like Kesty was tomahawked down low by Conley, who was going after the rebound. Kesty was knocked to the floor, and they called traveling against Gregg, who will now leave the game. DeVita and Evans will also come out for St. Cloud State. Bodette, Ward, and Gurman check in.
I don't know where he got that call. He got smashed.
Mavericks get the basketball back and a chance to draw to within 1 or to tie it as we are exactly at the halfway mark of the second half. Walker brings it ahead. Off for Ray Howard, who's checked back in at the 4 spot for UNO, the big power forward out of Omaha. Walker passes down low on the right side to Conley. Back out to Haw. His 3-pointer, swish, and we're tied for the 4th time tonight.
We're up by 1, 51-50.
Check that. Huskies still with the lead on that 3-pointer. And they're back the other way. St. Cloud State with Bodette. Off to Brown. His outside jumper just beyond the free throw line is off the backboard and rim. Rebound controlled by Conley. Gets it ahead to midcourt now, and into the front court comes Haw. John Haw, who hit that big three-pointer moments ago, threads a pass down on the baseline. Howard goes to the basket and drew the foul. Beaudette will get whistled, and the Huskies may see their lead evaporate here as Howard goes to the free throw line.
Well, that time was a very good entry pass to Howard. He's been working hard trying to get open. That time he finally, the perimeter player fed it to the right hand, went up strong to the basket. That's when Ray Howard's effective.
Howard, who had only 2 points in the first half, 2 points so far this half. We alluded to this in the pregame show in our talk with Bob Hansen, but Howard, who's really a key cog in this UNO machine, had only 6 points and 3 rebounds before fouling out Tuesday against Augustana, yet UNO still won that game by 5. And the way the Mavericks have been playing this year, Dean, that's a mini miracle to have a guy like Howard contribute that little and still win.
But at the beginning of the year, that would have killed him. But now the freshmen are becoming sophomores. You know, John Hahn's playing a great game tonight.
And both free throws are good by Howard, who now has 6. And the Mavericks take the lead 52-51. First, second half lead for Nebraska-Omaha, and the Huskies lose it. A pass ahead to Sharnowski, dribbled away from him in the lane, and it's recovered by Haw, but Haw, under intense backcourt pressure, turns it over himself as the freshman guard travels. Good job by the Huskies, among others Scott Springer, to put the heat on Haw as he came up with that loose ball. Pass in St. Cloud State. The Huskies down by 1, just under 9 minutes left. Ward's three is good. A lean-in three-pointer from the top of the key makes it 54-52 Huskies.
When Danny finally graduates, he's going to be the man everybody thinks of as no, yeah.
Ward's a 42% three-point shooter. Doesn't take a lot, but he's pretty good from that range. Huskies up by 2. Haw in the front court for UNO. Lobs down low. Howard is open and jams it. Howard bumped with Beaudette, who fell to the floor. Chris trying to draw the charge. He didn't get the official's call, and we're tied at 54.
There's the athleticism. A good entry pass, and look what he can do with the ball.
Now we've got a pass to the right side. Front court for the Huskies, knocked out of bounds by UNO, so it'll stay with St. Cloud State, and Springer will pass it in right in front of the St. Cloud State bench. Tied at 54, pass in. Gurman goes down the lane, threads a pass to Beaudette, wide open, and hits the 12-footer.
Nice play by Chad. Chad's used to sitting out shooting the three. That time he penetrated and gave a nice pass to Beaudette for the jump shot.
56-54 St. Cloud State, and then a foul on the Huskies. Ward reaching in against Ron Walker as the latter tried to bring it into the front court. Ward's foul, his second. 5 team fouls on the Huskies, 4 on UNO this half. 8:10 on the clock. Mavericks get it back, trailing by 2. Here's Tony Stubblefield in at a guard now. He's got it on the right side dribble. Passes down low, intended for Howard. Knocked away by Sharnowski, recovered by Ward. Great two-man defense by the Huskies. Sharnowski made it happen. Now Ward pushes it ahead. Front court for St. Cloud State. Circles around in the wing. Cuts into the lane. Bounce pass back out on top to Beaudette. He hands it back off to Ward. Ward guarded by Stubblefield. Danny works to his right on the dribble. Passes down on the baseline. Springer double team. He passes in the lane. It was at the feet of Gurman. Not a good pass, and recovered by UNO. Turnover Huskies. Here comes Haw in the front court. He had it knocked away cleanly from behind by Gurman. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Mavericks, but I'll tell you, both of these teams getting at it right now on the defensive end.
That's what it takes. We're less than 8 minutes left in the game, and the deciding factor is neither team's playing well on offense. The winner's going to come down to who's going to stop who.
Change for the Huskies at the small forward. A couple of co-captains, a couple of seniors changing spots. Kramer in, Springer out. Now the pass in for UNO, and a foul is called as the Mavericks work it down low to Joel Doherty, a 6'7" freshman forward who had just come in. He was leaning in against Sharnowski, and Haug is called for his second foul, and that'll put Doherty at the stripe.
Hansen had a nice recruiting class. He really did.
And the amazing thing, Dean, is we're not seeing the 2 best of his freshmen. 2 young players who are being redshirted. Richard Jones, a 6-foot freshman guard from Chicago, and Peter Ledford, a 6'1" freshman guard from Highland Park, Illinois. Those 2, again, are both redshirt freshmen this year. Hansen says, Bob Hansen, the veteran UNO coach, that if those guys were on the team this year, they'd both be starting. So they're good ones that are inactive this year. Doherty makes 1 of 2 free throws. 56-55, St. Cloud State. 7:15 left to go. Kramer dribbles to the baseline. He's bumped off the ball. Gets it off to Sharnowski. Now to Beaudette. From 15, the jump shot by Bo is no good off the back bracket. Rebound long comes to Stubblefield. He's breaking in the front court to Haw. His fall-away jumper left baseline won't go. Rebound out of bounds off of Howard. St. Cloud State basketball.
I was wondering how long Walker was going to sit out. Omaha's just not the same team with Stubbleford in the point guard because he's not really a true point guard.
Walker comes back in now at the point. After a very brief court stay, Doherty leaves, and I think he leaves because he's hobbled. Doherty, when he was fouled on that play moments ago, came down wrong on his ankle, and he's replaced now by Skokin. Here come the Huskies, breaking the full court pressure. Gurman has it on top, running jumper, free throw line, off the iron, no good. Rebound controlled by Skokin, but he tiptoed on the baseline as he tried to save it. So the Huskies will keep the ball, and they will pass it in on top. Now they'll move it down to the baseline for the toss, and Ward will pass into the right of his bucket. St. Cloud State with the basketball and a 1-point lead. Ward's pass threads the needle to Beaudet. He hands it back off to Ward, who comes out on top to get it. Now to the high post, Charnowski dumps it down low. There's Gurman. His shot is blocked from behind by Howard. Or was it Walker? One of those two got a hand on the ball. Good defensive play. They were both there, and the Mavericks get it back. Howard's open, 15-foot shot, no good. Rebound, Beaudet. Off to Ward, and Danny will start the break now for the Huskies, weaving his way through traffic. Ward behind the back. Charnowski, he's on the baseline. Howard under pressure. His shot is blocked, but he is fouled by Skokin. Boy, nobody can do it like Ward. He weaves his way through a two-man backcourt, sort of an good press by UNO. Gets into the front court, no look behind the back pass to Charnowski. Dean Ward is spectacular. As often it seems as he makes a play like that, he'll have a turnover or a ball that'll get away and the Huskies have to run it down, but when it works, it's fun to watch.
Very fun to watch, and Danny's probably one of the most exciting point guards because you never know what he's going to do. As a player, when I used to play with him, made me awful nervous, but he did a lot of good things and got me the ball, and he's a good player.
Fouls on Skokin, his second. Check that. Skokin has 3 fouls now. 5 on the Mavericks. Free throw by Charnowski, dances and drops. That's 8 points this half for Haug. And a total of 23 on the night. And one more coming for Charnowski. It's up and good. And the Huskies lead it by 3, 58-55 with 6:22 left. St. Cloud State led by 8 at half. The Mavericks battled back to get a 1-point lead at 52-51. Now the Huskies are back out on top. Here's Conley. In the front, 48 for UNO. Passes on the right wing. Walker backs off on his dribble from the wing. Back out on top to Conley. Now Haw comes out to get it. Between the circles, freshman guard John Haw. Guarded by Kramer, who's given him plenty of room as Haw is just backing off on his dribble beyond the arc. Now works to the right. Skokin tries to set a pick. Kramer battles through it, and Haw passes out on top to Conley. Mike Conley. Bounce pass, cross court, right side perimeter. Walker with 10 on the shot clock. Walker goes to the basket and drew the foul as Kramer, demonstrative and his insistent that there was no foul, but he gets called for it as Kramer leaned in against Walker and picks up his third.
That's the worst thing about a switching defense. That time Walker got switched off, or Stewart got switched off on Walker, and that's a definite mismatch, speed-wise.
Walker now with 21 points and at the line, shooting 2. First one is up and good. Walker with 22. Dean, sometimes I wonder if Walker, with the dearth of talent at UNO, didn't try to do maybe too much, and that was what caused his slump early on.
You know, that could happen. Very easily could happen. You want to do so well,
yeah,
and you just try and force things a little bit.
And you figure you have to be the man, and sometimes you try too hard. He makes both free throws here. If he's trying too hard tonight, it's a successful effort because he's got 23 points, and I think he's been the player of the game so far. Keeping UNO in the ballgame, 58-57. Ward's 3 switch.
What can you say? Big basket.
61-57. Huskies just over 5 minutes left to go. And now the Mavericks bring it into the left corner with Conley. He dribbles to the line, brings it out to Walker, fakes the jumper, goes down the lane, kicks it back out. Hawes 3. That's in and out. No good. And the rebound is Charnowski, and then he is fouled.
That was a monster rebound by Haug. All I got to say is if Haug gets snuffed off all conference this year, there's a definite crime.
No way. They can't deny him this year. Last year, Charnowski, as a redshirt sophomore, had the numbers where you could make an argument. This year, He's a lock. He's second in the conference in scoring and rebounding, 8th in field goal percentage, and that's to say nothing of his defense. He's having a super year for the Huskies. He's got 25 points so far tonight. 61-57 St. Cloud State. Under 5 minutes left to go as the Huskies work their half-court offense. Kramer on the wing. Conley all over him like a glove. Kramer hands it off to Ward, goes around Conley on the right baseline, brings it back out to Kramer. Way out on top, now to Ward. No look pass to Sharnowski at the block. Haugs double team, back out to Ward. Another three, another basket. 3 3-pointers this half for Ward. That's got to be a season high. He's got 9 this half, 13 on the night, 64-57. Breathing room for the Huskies. Mavericks work it in the offense now as Conley on the left side, Kramer with him. Now they work it around to Skokin at the high post. Back out to Conley, left wing, backs in on his dribble into the lane. Conley, 6 foot, one-hander is good.
Nice play by Conley. Used the 6'7" frame to advantage there.
11 for Conley, 59 for the Mavericks. They're down by 5. Here's Sharnowski on the right block against Howard. Good matchup there. Howard kicks it back out to McDonald between the circles. Ward has it now. Danny Ward, who's turned into a shooter this half for the Huskies. Now McDonald on the right wing takes a dribble, fakes. Guarded too well to get the shot off as Ha was all over him. He brings it instead back out to Ward with 20 on the shot clock. Ward dribbles to his right off a double screen. Now he's double teamed, whistle and a foul. As both Walker and Conley were putting the pressure on Ward, and Conley got a little too personal and is called for his first of the night. Team fouls now are 7 aside. That'll put the Huskies into the bonus.
One of the worst things the Huskies can do. They're trying to run a little time off. They got to keep their spacing. That time we had 3 guys within about a 10-foot area. That's not good. Got to keep the spacing, keep the ball moving.
St. Cloud State a couple of weeks ago was second in the NCC in free throw shooting, but the Huskies have dropped to 5th in the league now at about 70%. UNO is dead last at 65%. Dean, very quietly, free throw shooting has been a big part of this 5-game losing streak.
They haven't shot free throws very well. They're good shooters, too. You know, it's just a matter of thinking. They got to believe it's going to go in every time.
Free throw is good by Ward, so he gets the bonus 65-59. And many of those misses during the losing skid have come during crunch time. So they've been key misses. Second free throw also good by Dan. He has 11 points this half. 15 on the night for Ward. That matches a season high at 66-59 now in favor of St. Cloud State. 3:20 on the clock. Here comes UNO with Conley out top left side. He's been a force off the bench for the Mavericks. Conley one-hands a pass right wing to Walker. Out on top to the 6'10 freshman John Skokin. Left wing Ha now to Walker. 3 if it counts. No, that's short. And the rebound is scooped up by Springer. Great mid-air grab by Scott. He gets it off for Ward. Danny Ward pushes it front court. Out to Springer, now to Ward. You thought Springer was going to take a 30-footer there, didn't you, Dean? Springer looked like he was ready to pull the trigger from way out. Under 3 minutes left. Sharnowski fadeaway jumper from the lane is short, no good. Rebound, long comes out to Ha, and he is tied up by Sharnowski. Now we've got one official calling a foul on Haug, the other one calling a jump ball. Let's see, they're going to have a conference. Noel Lang and Mike Nevin, the 2 umpires, talking it over. Let's see who's going to win the argument. Lang wanted a jump ball. He called it from the backside. Nevin appeared to have the better look, but they call held ball. And it'll be St. Cloud State basketball in the alternate possession. That's a big call.
Yeah, it's a very big call. I think we got away with one there. That looked like a bear hug how we got him in.
So the Huskies will pass it in from the baseline to McDonald. He's open off the pass in from Ward, but Joel's outside jumper misfires. And the rebound's taken by Walker. Walker off to the races, lays it up and missed the left-hand layup. No good. Rebound, though, comes to Conley, and he puts it back in.
That's what speed will do for you. Ron Walker just blew by Joel and Springer. Set an opportunity up for Conley to get an offensive rebound and put back in.
13-2, it's UMP. The Bulldogs leading the Huskies in that WCHA game. Mid-second period, Minnesota and Wisconsin.
I got a 4-0 also in WCHA action. We've got tips anyway. St. Cloud State winning the Boston under 66-60 win. The Huskies move it out of bounds inside.
That's knocked away by Stubblefield. So it'll stay with the Huskies, who right now have a 5 on the floor of Ward, McDonald, Sharnowski, Bodette, who's back in, and Springer. Pass in, Ward has it on top, trying to protect that 5-point lead. Ward goes underneath the basket, dribbles along the baseline, passes up high. Charnowski feeds to Bodette, and he banks it in.
Nice play by Bo. Instead of taking a little 10-foot jumper, he took it straight to the goal. Nice play.
8 points for Bodette, 68-61 Huskies with 2 minutes on the clock. Pass down low. Howard goes to the basket, had it knocked away by Springer, who will be called for the foul.
Howard had a foul or a slam, bam, jam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Springer went in and prevented the slam because Howard had that clear path to the basket. And Howard is not his man. He was helping out on the defense.
Well, when Howard gets the ball around there, his eyes just light up when he sees a dunk.
This guy is 6 feet, 6 inches of pure sinew and muscle. Coming into the game, 11th in the league in scoring, 5th in rebounding, 6th in field goal percentage. A guy as brutally tough as Howard. And he went to a high school in Omaha, Benson High School, where their nickname was the Bunnies. I bet nobody gave Ray Howard a hard time about that. First free throw is good. Second one, no good. Out of bounds and off of UNO. So it's 68-62 Huskies. 1:50 left. Ward gets the pass in, goes through traffic, dribbles in the front court, gets it off to McDonald. McDonald fakes the three, wisely brings it back out on top to Ward. Now to Charnowski, back to Ward, between the circles. Huskies trying to work the clock. Whistle and a foul on the perimeter as Ward, dribbling through traffic, was fouled out on top. It's going to go on Antoine Young. First foul on Young, and that'll put Ward at the free throw line to shoot the bonus. Now Walker is back in. I don't know what Walker was doing on the bench in that situation in crunch time here, but he was for about a minute span. And Ward will be at the stripe. Ward has had a big second half for the Huskies. 11 of his 15 have come this half. Free throw is good, and Danny has a new season high now with 16 points.
This is when the free throws count. Right here, right now. Right now they're making them.
Minute 39 left on the clock. Huskies trying to hit the 70 mark. Second free throw is short, no good. It's 69-62 Huskies. Rebound Howard, and UNO comes ahead. They need a quick basket. Haw has it, left corner, goes to the dribble, to the line, hands it off. Walker has it, he slices to the baseline, cross-court pass, there's Howard, and lays it in. Layup by Howard, and a quick timeout called by the Mavericks. Minute 24 left. Husky lead is 5, 69-64 over UNO, and we'll return after this. Coming down the wire with the Huskies clinging to a 5-point lead, 69-64. St. Cloud State on top of Nebraska Omaha. And an official's timeout just prior to the backcourt passing for St. Cloud State. It's Mike Nevin, one of our officials, one of the tri-crew here for the NCC game, coming over to talk to Dan Ward. And about what, I'm not sure, Dean.
Looks like he's got blood on his jersey. I tell you, I don't know what happened. If it's true what happened, it sure is a good play.
Ward had a little bit of blood on his shorts, it appeared. And, of course, the new rule in NCAA basketball this year is that if you have blood anywhere in the uniform, you have to have that uniform changed, whatever part of the uniform it is. You're not insinuating that one of the Mavericks went up and swiped it, are you?
That's what I think would happen. I think one of the Mavericks has blood on their hand, and he went up and wiped it on the uniform. It's the darndest thing I've ever seen, but I think that's what happened.
Good way to get somebody out of the game with the new rule. And, of course, you want Ward out of the game right now. He's been ripping it up second half. Pass in for the Huskies, and a foul at midcourt as Stubblefield reached around McDonald going for the steal. Second foul on Stubblefield as a team that's 9 in the Mavericks, so McDonald will shoot the bonus.
Well, I wish I knew if that's what happened, because it looked like it. A lot of the Omaha players were laughing about it. Holy cow, I've seen it all now.
You know, when you think about it, you could just kind of go up and just pat Ward on the backside and say, good game, Danny, and you got a bloody hand.
Especially it was on the shorts. You know, you think, well, jersey's easy to replace.
Yeah.
You got to go outside and throw your shorts down or what?
That's right. Free throw by McDonald, rolls around, and it's good. Now, folks, we have no proof of this. We'll do a 2020 report after the ball game and check into it. But for Bob Hansen, I like Bob Hansen, don't get me wrong, but he's the kind of guy who's not above that sort of shenanigan to try to win a ball game. Second free throw, no good. 1 of 2 by McDonald. 70-64, St. Cloud State. Minute 15 left. UNO front court. Howard, top of the key. Left wing Haw. 3 if it counts. Short, no good. Rebound is tapped out. McDonald has it. Starts ahead. McDonald is fouled at the midcourt stripe by Walker. He reached in. Second foul on Walker. That's 10 now for UNO. So for the rest of the way, the Huskies will be shooting doubles.
Okay, so it didn't happen. Danny came back with a patch on his arm. All right. Now we know what happened.
Why were those UNO players laughing?
Don't know.
This is like Agatha Christie. There's got to be something to this, and I want to know what it is. Ward is back in with his left elbow taped, so apparently he was himself bleeding. Free throw by McDonald, good, to make it a 71-64 Husky lead. We wouldn't be having nearly this much fun if these teams were in the race right now. You know that, don't you? Second free throw also good. 72-64 Huskies, 1:03 on the clock. Here's Walker pushing it in the lane. Turnaround jumper from 8 won't go for the tiny point guard. Rebound McDonald, and again he is fouled, this time by Haw. So Joel McDonald, who has a nose for the basketball in games like this, where it's coming down the stretch and you're just trying to keep the ball away from the opponent, McDonald has a way of getting his hands on the ball and shooting frequent free throws. He's going to have his second straight trip to the line for a double here.
No, we're up by 8, 55 seconds. You can almost sense we got control of this game. Again, there's plenty of time. A lot of times free throws missed here and there could change my thinking on this, but to me right now we got the momentum and we're going to finish it off.
McDonald's free throw is good. For Joel, that's his 11th point of the night. 5 of those have come from the line, and 1 more free throw coming. It's good also. So the Huskies right now have their biggest lead of the evening, 74-64 with 55 seconds left. Going coast to coast is Haw, and he lays it up and in on transition. John Haw with the basket to cut the lead to 8. 46 seconds left, and McDonald is, oh man, he's bushwhacked at midcourt by Howard, Walker rather, who just came in and sort of threw a karate chop at him, trying to impede his progress to the basket. He did that and almost took off his head as well. Third foul on Walker. So McDonald again will be at the line. Nebraska-Omaha coming into this game 5-19. Their worst year ever under Bob Hansen in his 24-plus seasons as coach was 1977-78 when they went 9-18 overall. However, the following year, the Mavericks won the NCC championship, 1979, and Hansen was named coach of the year. So maybe this year isn't as bad as it appears. Last sub-500 season for the Mavericks under Hansen was 84-85. The mid-1980s when they went 13-15. Second free throw good. McDonald makes 1 of 2, 75-66. Three-pointer is pushed up by Kildare left side. That won't go. Rebound out of bounds off UNO. So with 37 seconds left, the Huskies will get the ball back, leading by 9 points. Husky basketball, a presentation of 98 Country at 98.1 FM for all of mid-Minnesota. I'm John Schroeder along with Dean Kessler from Hallenbeck Hall. Closing stages of this one, Charnowski is fouled in the backcourt and hits the floor hard as he was two-teamed by Haw and Howard, and Charnowski is hurting as he was fouled hard by Ray Howard, who has his 4th foul.
Ray probably didn't even think he touched him. He's just that big.
Yeah. Charnowski slid face first to the floor and might have jammed a hand or a finger, but he appears to be all right now.
This is a big, big win for St. Cloud. You know, they struggled early, then they came on, then they struggled a little bit. Hey, 2 big wins on a home road stand. Gets them ready, gets some momentum going into the tournament. Hey, you know how it is in the tournament. Anything can happen. Any team can win. It doesn't have to be the best team or the 8th place team. Anybody can win on any given night.
Charnowski's at the line. He has 24 points tonight to lead the Huskies. Free throw is good. 32 seconds on the clock. It's a 10-point Husky advantage, 76-66. Charnowski will try to tap that nail in just a tad further, and he does. Nothing but net as Haug makes them both, and he will come out now. Charnowski leads to a good ovation. Kesty will check in. 77-66 Huskies, 32 seconds on the clock. UNO's in the front court. Kildare will try a 3 left side off the front iron, but it's tapped up and in by a soaring Ron Walker. What a play by the 5'9 senior. 77-68, and now the Mavericks have a backcourt steal, or nearly. Howard got his hands on the ball, but he threw it away. Intercepted by Kesty. Pass in the front court. Springer has it and jams it. Got the feed from Brown, and Springer puts an exclamation point on this victory with 7 seconds left. 79-68. Walker's three-pointer is an air ball. Just 2 seconds left. Ward has the rebound, and there's the buzzer. So the Huskies have ended this 5-game losing streak as they beat the lowly but still scrappy Nebraska-Omaha Mavericks. Our final score tonight, St. Cloud State 79, Nebraska-Omaha 68. And we'll return to Hallenbeck Hall after these messages.
Hi, this is Greg from Suburban Health Club. Come join the Suburban family. Lose weight and feel great, all in a friendly, full-service fitness center.
Suburban for over a year now, and I really enjoy the aerobics classes because they have knowledgeable instructors and it's a casual atmosphere.
You know, if that's the skill down there works, I lost 30 pounds playing racquetball.
Be able to come out and do whatever you want without paying extra. Tanning, courts, great equipment and classes, it's all free.
Looks are so laid back here. You can just roll out of bed, throw a pair of shorts on and throw your hair in a ponytail and be here. It's not fancy.